So Mrs. Clinton will have to be deposed. Cheryl Mills will have to be deposed. These two State Department / former officials will have to be deposed. We'll have to get the subpoena out to Google.
Right.
And so what do we want out of this?
Well,
generally speaking, I guess, because I think it's the one big thing is people should realize we still don't have all the emails.
well, that's my first thing, right? Let's go back to what we asked for. We asked for the communications about the talking points. So first, we need to have confidence that all potentially responsive records were searched and produced. So that's one of the things we want, right? The requests, the records that we requested. With the discovery of Secretary Clinton's email use, and for the first part to be done completely, and to meet its obligations under FOIA, you have to make sure you have all of Secretary Clinton's emails to search, right? To make sure that you have all the records that we asked for. And we don't have that confidence yet, so that's why we're doing this. So that's the first thing that we want out of this. The other thing is to know exactly what the State Department officials knew about her email use and when they knew it, because it's important in this case, which goes to the bad faith question. But look, these State Department officials are in front of the same court and this judge. How many times, and how many cases did they have back in 2014, 2015? And the truth just needs to come out about the truthfulness and the candor that they had towards the court. So I think that's important.
The court found it already one of the most, was it the language, one of the gravest offenses?
Gravest offenses, I think, was
related to transparency law.
Yeah.
So you weren't interviewed for Hillary Clinton's Hulu documentary, were you?
No.
But she was on TV the last few days pushing this documentary.
All right.
And I noted the other day she called questions about this issue bogus.
Yeah. Well, I think, that's the way her response has been from the beginning. Remember when she took out the cloth? What do you mean, wipe the server clean, like with a cloth? And if that's the seriousness that she still lacks with her understanding about Freedom of Information Act and the fact that she was the head of the agency. And that's part of the reason we want to ask her, what does she understand her obligations to be under FOIA, right?
Was that bogus too?
Right. There's a reason that we have the Freedom of Information Act. It's the public's right to know. This goes back to the Nixon era, right? And that's the reason that Congress enacted this law. And about a year ago, Congress amended and improved this law. It's important that the public have access to information as to what its public officials are doing.
So the testimony has to take place by May 16th.
Right.
And barring unforeseen circumstances, people will be able to access the testimony. And so I just want to make it clear to those of you who are supporters, I want to thank you. And of course, I get to talk about all the great work Ramona does and our other attorneys do. So, this work doesn't just, we just don't get a court ruling out of the blue. It's years of litigation, and this has been 6 years of litigation. We knew something was up with Mrs. Clinton based on, in terms of her conduct at the State Department, just based on prior history, so we went back a long ways. But this is a significant measure of accountability because Mrs. Clinton never really has been questioned on the issues we're here, that we're going to be questioning her about.
Right, not under oath. Obviously she was interviewed by the FBI, but she had Cheryl Mills, I believe, who sat in as her attorney and also a fact witness in the FBI's investigation.
And Congress didn't really ask her about this either. In fact, if they had, we'd be unlikely to be able to question her because the testimony would already be out there.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.